Hi, I'm Bonnie Barker with BonnieBayCrochet.com, and today we are moving on to square number 5 in the Friends Around the World 3 crochet along. This particular square is called Dutchy, and it's designed by Ineke Mooijenkind, and she is from the Netherlands. Let's take a look at some of the items that you're going to need. For this square, she's recommending the following yarns, and the yardage is there for you to see. She used off-white, light blue, and denim colored yarn. This is using a worsted weight yarn of your choice. Worsted weight is also an Aran weight. I'm going to show you the colors I'm going to be using. I'm sticking with my Red Heart Super Saver because that's what I have a lot of, and I'm going to be using these colors. Now, you may choose 3 colors of your choice for this. It doesn't have to be in blue or white or any of that. You can choose that, or you can choose even a solid color of your choice. So please use your creativity there. Don't feel confined in any way by what is used in this video. Okay, you're also going to need a crochet hook size H or 8 or 5.00 millimeter. I'm also recommending that you have a yarn needle handy for hiding loose ends, and of course the invaluable pair of scissors, especially when you're working with yarn changes. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I highly recommend you look at the link below in the description of this video so that you can download this entire written pattern. This will help you to learn how to read patterns if you're new to that. And it'll also give you confidence if you're not, or if you just even wanted to bypass the video entirely and just go through the written work. There are several ways of doing the magic ring, but I'm just going to show you the method in which I am comfortable and I've learned. So I'm going to go ahead and hold the end yarn with the little tail in my non-dominant hand, and I'm going to wrap my fingers 2 times like this. I'm going to go ahead and reach under and pull up a loop. Okay, and the directions say to chain 1. I'm going to chain 1, and we're going to work 8 half double crochets inside this magic loop. For those of you who are really new to crochet, a half double crochet is yarn over. I always like to yarn over the back, or have your hook reach up and grab that yarn, insert it into the place, in this case the magic loop, pull up another loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 strands on your hook. So I'm going to go ahead and finish all 8 of these stitches. After I finish those 8 half double crochets, and you do want to make sure that you truly have 8, I'm going to pull up a loop here just for a second, and I'm going to pull on this little strand here in order to make this ring very small. Okay, now notice that this didn't go all the way down, which is not a problem, so I'm going to pull back again, and I'm going to do this a few times until I get this ring, until I get this ring just as small as I possibly can. Okay, give it another tug. There we go. So now they're both coming. Okay, so that is pretty tight there. So the idea is that you get rid of that little circle in the middle. We don't want to have a donut there. Don't want a donut hole. After working those 8 half double crochets, we're going to join with a slip stitch to the first half double crochet of the round, and then we are going to fasten off. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. And the directions say specifically do not weave in the ends, or at least not yet. Okay, and let's go ahead and pull that on through. And let's go ahead and go on to round 2 and get a different color. I'm going to go get the dark blue. Okay, now we're ready to join the new color, and I'm going to go ahead and make my slip knot before I actually join it to the yarn. It kind of minimizes the bulk. So let's go ahead and grab our little circle here. Now the directions specifically say to pick up the 3rd loop. Okay, some of you may wonder, what in the world is the 3rd loop? Okay, let me just try to show you. I know there's a lot of contrast here. Okay, here are the 2 loops if you're working through both loops of the stitch. Well, instead of doing that, we're going to work in the back loop, and if you look back here, there's actually another loop there. Do you see that? Okay, let me just share that to you again so this light hits it correctly. Okay, these are the 2 loops that we normally work through. We're going to instead work through the back loop, and then there's actually a 3rd loop of half double crochets. So we're going to go ahead and join that. We're going to pull that through, and you can start in any of the loops around and do a chain. Now we're going to be working what they call a standing puff stitch. Okay, in order to do that, we're going to make this as large as a double crochet, and you're going to have to estimate on this, so you're going to have to kind of eyeball it. Okay, so that's about the height I'm estimating of a double crochet. So I'm going to, in order to do a standing puff stitch, I don't wrap the hook first. I put the hook in, pull up a loop. We're going to do that 4 times. Now I wrap the hook, and that's 2. That's 3, and that's 4. Now there should be 8 loops on your hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And go ahead and yarn over and pull through and give it a chain. And I'm told that this chain does not count as a stitch. Okay, just to let you know that. And we're going to do that in each stitch all the way around. But after we've gone ahead and we've pulled the chain through, then we're going to chain 1 again. After that first standing puff stitch, now the rest of the puff stitches are simply puff stitches. In other words, you're going to wrap the hook, you're going to work in that back loop and in the third bar. Okay, so that's 1 repeat. Make sure that you're bringing them up to the height of a double crochet. And that's 2, 3, 4. Now you should have actually 9 stitches on, or 9 loops on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yarn over, pull through all loops, give it a chain to tie them together. This does not count as a chain. And then chain 1. Now this I'm going to put towards the back side. Now this is the place where the join was, so we only need 1 stitch. And if you look at the back, it'll be easy to see. So we're going to wrap the hook. This is the same stitches joining. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull them all through, tie them together with a chain, and then a chain 1. Now we're going to do it in the next back bump. So we'll go into this thread and this one. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Tie them together, chain 1. Let's see if we have 4 more spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4 more spaces to go. I'll go ahead and just do these with you. Again, the back loop and that 3rd bar or 3rd loop. Yarn over, pull through all 9 loops, chain 1, or actually chain to pull them together, and then a chain 1. And now we're going to the next stitch. Here's the back stitch and the back bar, or the third strand there. Yarn over, pull through all 9 loops, tie them together with the chain, and then chain 1. Okay, the last 2 puff stitches working in the back loop and then the 3rd loop with that half double crochet. Yarn over, pull through all 9 stitches, tie it together with the chain, and chain 1, and 1 more to go, and then we'll be changing yarn again shortly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull it through, tie it together with the chain, and chain 1. Okay, so go ahead and join in the first, right here, in the first puff stitch. Join with a slip stitch and you're going to want to fasten off. Make sure you leave a nice long chain, or I'm sorry, a nice long thread there for weaving in at a later point. And this is what you should have after the first 2 rounds. At this point in the pattern, we're encouraged to go ahead and secure the ends. So let's go ahead and do that using our yarn needle. This is probably a good idea because there are going to be a lot of them to deal with at the end of this. So I'm going to do this on the back side of the pattern, or I'm sorry, of the piece here. I'm going to go ahead and secure that, and I'm going to go back into this so that these will not be seen, and I'm going to try to secure the dark colors under the dark colored crochet as much as possible. That looks good to me. So go ahead and clip it carefully, but make sure that you do not clip your work. Now I'm ready to join color number 3, and the directions call for a standing single crochet. So I'm going to go ahead and make my slip knot before I join. Let me show you what you should have before this. Okay, this is the back side, and this is the front side. You see I've hidden all my loose strands, and it says to join in any chain 1 space. So I'm going to join in here with my standing single crochet. Okay, so now we're going to make a single crochet here, and then now the pattern calls for a front post single crochet around the next puff stitch. So what you're going to do is you're going to just working around the top. Okay, you're going to come in just around the top. It's basically around where that chain 1 was made, and go ahead and make your single crochet right there. I think that's intended to help gather these stitches together even more. And now we're going to single crochet 3 single crochets in the next chain 1 space, like so. And then we're going to do another front, I'll go ahead and slow down a little bit, a front post slip single crochet around the next puff stitch. Again, we're centering on, you know, the top of the stitch, and then 3 single crochets in the next chain 1 space, and then another front post single crochet just like so, 3 single crochets in that next chain 1 space. So go ahead and work that all the way around. After working that last front post single crochet, we're going to work 2 single crochets in the last chain 1 space, which was also the first chain 1 space where we worked that 1 standing single crochet. Go ahead and work a slip stitch, and we're ready to move on to round number 4. We're going to work 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and this does count as a double crochet. Then we're going to work 2 double crochets in the next space, 1, 2, and then after that we're going to work 1 double crochet in the next 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3, and that's the pattern we're going to do all the way around. 2 double crochets in the next stitch and 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. I'll do that for you one more time. 2 double crochets in that next stitch, and then 1 in the next 3. 1, 2, 3, and go ahead and do that all the way around. For the last repeat of this round, we're only going to double crochet in the last 2 single crochets, and of course, because the chain 3 does count as that 3rd single crochet, we're going to go ahead and join with a slip stitch to the top of that stitch, and we're going to, let's go ahead and grab all the threads there, go ahead and fasten off. Go ahead and get my scissors, and the pattern encourages you to go ahead and weave in that loose thread. Actually, 2 of them. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, at the end of round 4, this is what you should have. Now, row 5, we are beginning with color 1, which is the white in my case. And we're going to start with something called a standing front post treble. I'm going to go ahead and start with my slip knot, like we've been doing. Okay, I'm going to have that standing by here. And we're going to do something a little different. Okay, so we're going to actually put my hook through where I'm going to wrap my post stitch around, and go ahead and loop this 2 times. And we're going to bring all of this through like so. And then we're going to bring the hook. Now I'm holding the tail back here. Okay, it's a little bit of a tricky stitch, but just hang with me for a second. And we're going to bring this around this stitch, and we bring up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and just keep this thread back behind. I'm going to do this one more time for those of you who are just kind of thinking, what was that? Okay, it took me a few minutes to figure this out myself, so let's go ahead and again do a slip knot. Okay, go ahead and get that just comfortably around the hook, like so. Now we're going to I'm going to bring this hook in here because I'm going to position it around the stitch and shortly. Okay, I'm going to hold this thread down. We're going to loop our hook twice as if we're going to do a treble like this, and then we're going to continue going around the stitch to bring that thread through again. So you should have this on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and make sure that this thread is back here. We're going to deal with that once we go around. So that is actually our first, that's our standing front post treble. Now we're going to do front post trebles and the next 39 stitches as well, so that will give us a total of 40 front post trebles once we go all the way around. So go ahead and finish the rest of these stitches, and I'll show you the connection when we get to that point. Okay, now this join is really different that I'm going to show you because it kind of is attached to what we're going to do for round number 6. We're going to put our hook through the top loops, and you see the stitch where the standing stitch was joined? Okay, actually it's going to be this one right here. We're going to do that, and I want you to pull a slip stitch through all of that. Now to begin round 6, just hang in with me, because what we're going to do is we're going to end up folding these down. It's going to be kind of a raised, puffy effect going into round 6. Okay, so go ahead and chain 1, and working through the loops of the next stitch and of round 4. So we have round 5 here that we just completed, and we're working through round 4. Go ahead and do a slip stitch through all 4 of those loops. So through this loop and the loops of round 4, go ahead and pull that. Let me try that again, because sometimes with this yarn, sometimes it's hard to get all of the plies. There we go. So you can't rush on this round for sure. Definitely take your time and put it through the 2 loops, and then the 2 loops behind, and then the 2 loops. So this is the effect we're getting. This kind of a nice little raised effect. At first I thought this was a bullion stitch in the pattern, and this is actually, I think, a little bit easier to do and quite a nice creative effect. So go ahead and complete that all the way around. At the end of this round, I'm going to join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet of the round and fasten off. So go ahead and give it a chain, pull, make sure you leave a long enough strand to hide the loose end. And the instructions do say to go ahead and hide this loose strand. So let's go ahead and do that. It's going to make our lives a whole lot easier in the long run, because we won't have to look forward to hiding all those loose strands at the end. This is what you should have at the end of 6 rounds. I'm going to show you the back side. All my strands hidden. And now we're going to do a slip knot so we can do a standing single crochet. Go ahead, work that slip knot, and you can choose any of the stitches around. You should have 40 single crochets around, if I've already said that. And go ahead and pull that slip knot through. I'm going to give it a chain and go ahead and single crochet in the same place. Now we're going to single crochet 2 single crochets in that next stitch, and then 1 single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches, and 1 more. And that's going to be your repeat all the way around. 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 in the next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So go ahead and work that all the way around. At the end of round 7, we're going to join with a slip stitch to that very first standing single crochet of the round, and do not fasten off. We're going to continue on with this color in round number 8, but do be sure that you have 48 single crochets all the way around. It's going to be kind of important that the stitch count is accurate for this next step. Well, for all the steps actually. Okay, so now we're going to begin round 8. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to single crochet in the same stitch. Okay, now we're going to skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and we're going to work 4 trebles in the next stitch. I believe this is the point where we're going to start squaring the design off. So that's 2, 3, and 4. Okay, the next thing, it says we're going to work 5 treble crochets in the next stitch. So in the next stitch here, we're going to work 5 of these. 1, 2, let's get some more yarn, 3, 4, and 5. The next thing, it says to skip 2 stitches, so that would be 1, 2, and we're going to single crochet in the next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, now we're going to repeat what's in the parentheses 4 times total. We've already done it 1 time. So inside those parentheses, we're going to skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and we're going to work 4 treble in the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then it says to work 5 trebles in the next stitch, which will be right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and that makes 5. And after we do that, we're going to skip the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, and then we're going to single crochet in the next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And this is the repeat that we're going to do. We're going to do that 2 more times around. So go ahead and do that 2 more times. On the last repeat, we're going to skip 2, 1, 2, and we're going to work only 5 single crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because that first single crochet acts as that 6th in the repeat. And so we're going to go ahead and join with a slip stitch, and we're going to fasten off, and then we're going to secure or hide this loose end. So I'm going to go ahead and fasten off, and I will secure this, and then we will start round number 9. Okay, this is what you should have at the end of round number 8. So now we're beginning round number 9 with the color number 1, which happens to be white for me. I'm going to go ahead and make my slip knot because we're going to be making another standing treble crochet. So I'm going to join that with the 9th. That's the last front post. The last treble crochet of the 9, or the 4 plus the 5 cluster on the corner there. I'm going to go ahead and hold this strand back like so. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this twice. I'm going to bring this all through on this side. Okay, see what I've got going here, just like we did before. And I'm going to go around this stitch, bring another strand up, and go ahead and complete that standing front post treble crochet. Make sure this strand is back here, and don't hide it yet. Just be patient, and we'll deal with that at the end of this round. Okay, after I've done my standing front post treble, this is going to be the repeat. We're going to chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let me give you a heads up. What's going to happen here is this round is naturally going to kind of fold the last round over like this and going to create kind of a puffy effect. Okay, so after I've chained 6, we're going to skip the next 6 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're going to front post treble around the next 9 stitches. So I'm going to wrap my hook 2 times, and 9 front post trebles. That's 1, 2, 3. After completing those 9 front post trebles, now it's time to do the repeat, which is a chain 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And notice how this is should curve around towards the back like this. And now we're going to do those after we skip 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are those single crochets. We're going to work front post trebles in each of the 9 stitches of the next corner. And that is the repeat. So go ahead and repeat that all the way around. For that last repeat, you're only going to work 8 front post trebles because the first one has already been worked for you. So at the end of this round, you're going to join with a slip stitch to that first stitch of the round. And then we're going to fasten off. And the directions do say to hide the loose strands, not now, but after the next round. So go ahead and leave yourself a nice long strand. And this is what you should have at the end of this round. Okay, now we're going to go on to round number 10, and we're going to need color number 2. Okay, round number 10 has some new things, at least new to me, so I'm going to try to go slowly on this. We're going to be working with color number 2 again, which is, in my case, the dark blue. I'm going to go ahead and work a slip knot. So I can work a standing single crochet, and you can join in any treble crochet that's the first of the corners anywhere around. So I'm going to join in this one, and as we work in the corners with the trebles the front post treble crochets, we're going to work through this loop and through the loop of row number 8. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start my work here. I'm going to go ahead and give it a chain 1. And I'm going to make my first single crochet here. Okay, and now the directions, reading the directions says now, this is after the asterisk and the parenthesis. We're going to single crochet in the next stitch. So I'm going to work through both loops, the next stitch, and then now we're going to do some increases. We're going to work 2 single crochet in next stitch. Okay, working through all 4 of those loops, 2 loops of each row. Do 2 stitches, 2 single crochets there. And now the repeat, we're going to do that 4 times. That was 1, and which is going to be a single crochet in the next stitch. Again, working through all those loops, and then 2 single crochets in the next stitch. 1, 2. That's our second repeat. For our third repeat, we do 1 single crochet, and then 2 single crochets in the next stitch. That's the third repeat, and this is going to be the last repeat of the corner section, and this is what's going to be repeated all the way around. 1 single crochet in that stitch, and then in the next stitch I'm going to do 2. Okay, let's stop and take a look at that. It really has a nice effect there. Make sure when you're doing this, if you're not using a single color, it's nice to use some contrasting colors so that really stands out. Okay, now this is the next part of the repeat. We're going to work half double crochets, and this is the way we're going to do them over the next 6 stitches. This is going to be working the chain and the single crochets together. We're going to wrap our hook, and we're going to insert into the single crochet, and then I'm going to insert into the front loop of that first chain, right like that. Okay, and then that's half double crochet made, and we're going to do that again. Grab that next, just the front loop of that chain. That's 2. Make sure you wrap your hook for the half double crochet. I almost forgot to do that. So that's 3. 4. That's 5. And this is the last chain, the last single crochet. 6. So you have 6 half double crochets. After working those 6 half double crochets, we're going to work 2 single crochets in the next stitch. 1, 2, and now we're back to our repeat with the asterisk, which is 1 single crochet in the next stitch, 2 single crochets. Remember, now we're working through 4 loops, 2 loops of row 9 and 2 loops of row 8 for this, and now we work 1 single crochet in that next stitch, 2 in the next, 1 in the next, and 2 in the next, and that should give us 1 more repeat. 1 in that next stitch, and here is our next one. Now we haven't hidden these strands yet, so I'm going to give those a little tug. Let's go ahead and put that strand back there. Let's try this again. I think I'm pulling. Okay, here we go. 1 and 2. Let's check to see what we've done. We have 2 in that first stitch, and then to repeat 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And so now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to work those 6 half double crochets, working through those single crochets and the first loop of the chain. So let's find out where that first one is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's right there. This can be a little bit of a handful, so do make sure that you're taking your time to do this correctly. As it progresses along, it's quite a nice design. I'm even thinking that these would make, and I know I've said it before in the first video, but with the extra texture on these would be excellent in cotton for trivets, you know, for hot pads for the kitchen, whether that be pot holders and taking hot things out, or even setting hot things on your counter. I think this would be a really excellent way to do this. Could be really excellent last minute gift giving ideas for, you know, special occasions, especially for the holidays. Okay, so now I've done that repeat 2 times, so go ahead and complete that the rest of the way around your square. For the last repeat, you don't need to work the last 2 single crochets. So go ahead and just join this with a slip stitch to the first single crochet of that round, like so. Now we're going to be using a different color, so let's go ahead and fasten off and go ahead and get color number 3 ready, which is going to be, for my case, the medium color blue. This is also a good time to go ahead and secure the loose ends of the last 2 rounds. So go ahead and get your needle, your yarn needle, and take care of that. Now we're ready to begin round 11, which we're going to begin by working a standing single crochet in the 6th half double crochet of any repeat around. So I'm going to go ahead and get my slip knot and insert my hook, pull it through. Now there may be a technique for doing this where you don't chain 1, but I'm going to go ahead and chain 1 because I just feel like it's more secure. So we're going to go ahead and make a single crochet there, and the instructions now say single crochet in the next 4 stitches. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there should be a total of 5 single crochets, the one we started with, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, after we do that, we're going to half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So half double crochet and then half double crochet. Now we're going to do 2 double crochets in the next stitch. We're actually going to be forming the corner here. 2 double crochets there, chain 2, and then 2 double crochets in the next, put that strand there, next stitch. So now we officially have a corner. Now since I crocheted over this strand here, if you can just forgive me, I'm going to do a little bit of housework. Very carefully cut that strand, give it a tug. I think it's hidden away. Okay, so now we've got our corner. Now we're going to half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. 1, 2, and now we're going to single crochet in the next 14 stitches. I'll go ahead and do these 14 stitches. After those 14 stitches, we're going to go back to the asterisk, which starts with those half double crochets, and we're going to repeat what's in between the asterisks 3 more times. Actually, yeah, that's right, 3 more times. 1, 2, half double crochets, and then we make our corners by making 2 double crochets in the next stitch, a chain 2, and then 2 double crochets in the next stitch. 1, 2, and that's going to be followed by half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. 1, 2, and then 14 single crochets. So go ahead and work that repeat in between those asterisks all the way around. So after working those final 9 single crochet, that's going to join with the 5, that does make a total of 14. Go ahead and join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet of the round. Give it a tug so that we can fasten off. Go ahead. You can go ahead and hide that loose strand now. Now we're ready to begin round number 12, which says to join in the last stitch before the chain 2 corner. We're going to join with a standing half double crochet. So I've already got my slip knot here. I'm going to go ahead and bring that through. I'm going to do a chain. Again, you may choose to not have to worry with the chain, but that's just my way of doing things here. Now we're going to do 2 half double crochets, chain 2, and 2 half double crochets working in that chain 2 corner. Make sure you're doing half double crochets, because I automatically went into doing double crochets and had to kind of do a little bit of ripping back here. Okay, so now I've got the 2 half double crochets, chain 2, 2 half double crochets in the corner. Now for the rest of this, we're going to half double crochet in the next 22 stitches across. So go ahead and work those 22 half double crochets. As I'm working these half double crochets, don't forget that this stitch is the first stitch. Okay, sometimes these corners can cover that first stitch, but make sure you pull it back and put a stitch in there, because that is very important. That stitch does count in our stitch count as we go across. So now we come to the point where we need to repeat that again. So we're going to do the 2 half double crochets and then chain 2. I'm going to turn my square 90 degrees here, and then 2 more. Whoops, let me make sure that I'm doing half doubles. I almost did a double crochet there. And then 2 half doubles in that turning chain. And remember, like I said before, make sure that you pull back and put a half double crochet in that stitch there as we work 22 stitches all the way across the next side. And that is the repeat. It's going to be the corner, which was 2 half double crochets, chain 2, 2 half double crochets, and then 22 half double crochets, 1 in each stitch across. So go ahead and do that all the way around. As we come to the last edge, we're going to work 21 half double crochets across, and this first of the round where we started actually makes 22, so that our stitch count remains constant on each side. Go ahead and join with a slip stitch. Now, just to be clear, you should have 4 chain 2 corners, and there should be not approximately, but exactly 26 half double crochets, because you're adding in the 2 on this corner and 2 on this corner. So 22 plus 4 is 26. So there should be 26 stitches on each side all the way around. Okay, so now we're ready for 13, round 13. I'm going to chain 1, and we're going to half double crochet in that same stitch as joining. Okay, now we're going to half double crochet in the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, and now we're going to do another half double crochet corner, 2 half double crochets, chain 2. I'm going to go ahead and turn the square 90 degrees, and then 2 more half double crochets, all worked in that same chain 2 corner. Okay, and now it says to skip the next hidden stitch, which would be this stitch right here. We're not going to work in this stitch, and we're going to half double crochet in the next 25 stitches. Okay, so this stitch, just to be clear, we do not have to pull back and find that stitch. Don't bother with that. We're only going to be needing 25 of these stitches, so half double crochet in the next 25 stitches across. Now that brings us to another corner, and this is going to be the repeat, which is our second repeat. We're going to do 2 half double crochets, chain 2, and then 2 more half double crochets worked in that chain 2 corner. And just as a gentle reminder, we do not need to work in the first stitch. That is actually covered up by this chain two and the half double crochets in this corner, but instead go to the next stitch and we're going to work a half double crochet in the next 25 stitches. So that is going to be your repeat all the way around, except when you come to the last, let me show this to you now. When you come to the last round, these 3 stitches are actually going to count in that 25 stitch count. So I'll show you how to figure that once we get to that point. As I finish working the last edge, starting with the half double crochets, 1 in each stitch over here, I actually work 22, and then these other 3, 23, 24, 25 make up the difference. So we do have 25 half double crochets on each side. That's not including the chain 2. I'm sorry, the two half double crochets in each corner. Let's go ahead and join with a slip stitch, and we're going to fasten off with this color and change colors. So go ahead and do that. Leave a nice long strand and go ahead and hide that loose strand now. So this is what you should have at the end of round 13. Now each side, if you include the half double crochets here and counting from the chain 2 all the way across, you should have a total of 29 stitches on every side of your square. Okay, round 14 calls for color number 2, which is my dark blue, and starting with a standing half double crochet in any chain 2 space, we're going to let's go ahead and do that standing half double crochet. I'm doing mine with a chain. You can try to do it without that, but I prefer to do it this way. So I'm going to do my half double crochet, and I'm going to do a chain 2, and then another half double crochet worked in that same space. Okay, now just take note that we just have 1 half double crochet and not 2 in these corners for this round, especially since we've been working 2 stitches per corner. Okay, now we're going to back post double crochet around each of the next 29 stitches, just like this. And I think this is kind of cool because look what we have here, and it looks like we end up with like a running chain in front there. Isn't that neat? Okay, so go ahead and work these back post double crochets across to the next chain 2 corner. So now that I've finished working back post double crochet all the way across, it's time to do the corner, which is going to be just 1 half double crochet, chain 2, and then 1 half double crochet. And that is the repeat that you're going to do all the way around. We're going to work back post double crochets in each of the 29 stitches, and then work a half double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet in that chain 2 corner. So go ahead and work that all the way around. This round ends with a slip stitch to the top of that first half double crochet, and go ahead and fasten off and secure your ends because we are changing colors once again before we begin round number 15. Let me show you real quickly what you should have. Looking good. Okay, let's get ready for round 15. We're going to use something called a double single crochet, and we're going to start with a standing stitch at first. So let's go ahead and make our slip knot, and I'm also using color number 3 or the medium blue. So we're going to start this 2 stitches, 1, 2, before any chain 2 corner. So I'm going to go ahead and insert my hook and do this very carefully. I'm going to go ahead and use my chain 1. Now I'm going to go ahead and begin like I'm making a single crochet. Okay, now I'm not going to finish this yet. I'm going to wrap the hook one more time, go back into the same hole, pull up another loop. Now you should have 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches on, or hooks rather, on that hook. Yarn over and pull through all 4 stitches. Now that's going to be our double single crochet. We're going to chain 1. We're going to skip the next stitch, which is right here, and that's going to bring us to the chain 2 space. And this is what we're going to do for the chain 2 space. Pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull up another loop, yarn over, and pull through all 4 loops on the hook. Now we're going to chain 2. We're going to do that again. Stick the hook in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up another loop, yarn over, and pull through all 4 loops on the hook. Okay, we're going to do this across, so we're going to skip the next hidden stitch, which would be here. We're going to chain 1, and then we're going to do another double single crochet. Okay, make sure you have 4 loops on the hook before you pull through. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, stick your hook in the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, stick that hook in that same stitch, pull up another loop, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops on the hook. I'm just going to do a couple more of these with you because if you're like me, this is kind of new to you. So let's go ahead and I'll just do a couple more like this. We're going to skip the next stitch, stick the hook in the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, hook in again, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops on the hook, chain 1, skip next stitch, put your hook in the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, put that hook in that same stitch, pull up another loop, yarn over, pull through all 4 stitches on the hook, chain 1. As we go across, you should have, not counting the corner, let's not look at the corner right now, but counting just these stitches, you should have 15 of these going across. So go ahead and do that all the way across until the next corner. As I've finished going all the way across the one side, there is 1 stitch left, which is we are going to skip, but I have counted from past the corner from here to here. We do have 15 of the double single crochets, so now it's time to do the corner. Hook in that corner, bring up a loop, yarn over, put your hook in again, bring up another loop, yarn over, pull through all 4 stitches, chain 2, and we're going to do that again in the same place. Hook in, pull up a loop, yarn over, hook in, pull up another loop, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops on the hook, and go ahead and chain 1, skip that hidden stitch here, and then go ahead and do the double single crochet and then chain 1 and then skip 1 stitch all the way across that side. And then when you get to the corner, go ahead and do the same thing that I just did here and go ahead and complete that all the way around. At the end of the last side, we're going to work 14 of the double single crochets across, because the one we're joining this to here makes up for the one that we're not working on, so that actually brings our stitch count to the same. So go ahead and join with a slip stitch to that stitch and fasten off. Give a little chain and a tug, and make sure you leave a nice long strand so we can run that into our yarn needle. So go ahead and secure that loose end, and then we'll be ready to begin round 16. Now we're ready to start round 16. You can start this in any chain 1 space that comes before the corner. We're going to go ahead and insert our hook, and we're going to do a standing single crochet. So we're going to go ahead and take our slip knot like that, and I am going to go ahead and use my chain 1 and do my single crochet, and then do 1 more single crochet. Now we're going to work in the chain 2 corner. I'm going to work a single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet in that chain 2 corner. Okay, now I'm going to work across the side, and what I'm going to do is in each chain 1 space, I'm going to work 2 single crochets. 1, 2. So go ahead and work those all the way across. You're going to do that 16 times across, and that should give you 32 single crochets, just counting the single crochets we're putting in the chain 1 space. That's not including the corners. This is what you should have after working that all the way across. When you get to the chain 2 corner, we're going to work a single crochet, chain 2, and 1 single crochet. So go ahead and work that repeat all the way around. We end round 16 with a slip stitch to that first stitch of the round, and go ahead and give it a chain and a tug, and we're going to go ahead and fasten off so that we can start with another color. And don't forget to go ahead and hide these loose strands. Okay, we're going to try round 17, and we're going to start this 5 stitches from the chain 2 corner. So if your chain 2 corners here, you're going to count back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I went ahead and made my slip knot so I can make my standing double crochet 3 stitches together. I'm going to go ahead and pull that through. I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to insert that hook in that stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 in the first stitch. Now the next stitch, I'm going to do that again, yarn over in the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. I'm going to do them one more time, yarn over in the next stitch, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. You should have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops on the hook. Now we're going to skip 1, 2, the next 2 stitches, and then we're going to work something pretty unique in this corner here. We're going to do treble crochet 2 together, and then we're going to do that 5 times. Okay, I'm going to prepare for that treble crochet. Put that in the chain 2 space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and do that one more time. Double wrap, insert hook in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. Okay, that is 1. After we do that, we are going to work a chain 1. Okay, and then after that, we're going to do another double wrap, insert into the same space, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and do that again. Double wrap, insert hook into the same space, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and then we give it a chain 1, and that is 2. We're going to do that 3 more times. Double wrap, insert to the same place, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, double wrap, hook in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on the hook, and give it another chain. So now we have 1, 2, 3 treble crochet 2 together stitches. That's a mouthful. Anyway, double wrap, hook in the same place again, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, double wrap in the same place, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on the hook. So now that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead and chain 1, double wrap, put the hook in, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, double wrap, hook in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Should be 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on the hook. So now we should have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 treble crochet 2 together, and that's what you're going to do in every chain 2 corner going around the square. After that corner, we're going to skip 2 stitches. Don't forget the hidden stitch here, so we're going to skip 1, 2 stitches, and then we're going to wrap our hook, and we're going to do double crochet 3 together. I'm going to pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and we're going to go to the next stitch, yarn over, insert hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and do that one more time, yarn over, insert into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops on the hook, and then we're going to chain 2, and we're going to do this all the way across. Yarn over, and we're going to just start in the very next stitch. We're not skipping anything here. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and do that in the next stitch and the next stitch until you've done that in 3 stitches, and you have 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, pull through all 4 loops, chain 2, and do that in the next stitch. And we're going to do this all the way until we have 9 of these clusters, or actually we're going to repeat that, that's right, 9 times. 1, 2, 3, yarn over, pull through all 4, chain 2. I'm going to do one more for you. Yarn over, insert into next hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and one more time. Yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops on the hook, chain 2. So go ahead and work that to the first corner, and don't forget that you are not going to work the last 2 stitches as you go across. After repeating this 9 times, we're going to do it one more time. Yarn over, pull through all 4, but this time we're only going to chain 1, okay, for that final repeat. And then we are going to work from the asterisk again, which has us to skip 2 stitches, and then work the treble 2 together and chain 1 a total of 5 times. I'll go ahead and work that corner for you once again. These are 2 treble crocheted together, and then a chain 1, and then we're going to do that again. Remember, we're double wrapping our hook now and pulling, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 twice, and double wrap, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and there should be 3 loops on the hook, and then you pull through all 3 loops, and then give it a chain 1 after you've joined it. And then we're going to do that 3 more times. Yarn twice, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on the hook, chain 1, and that makes 3 repeats of this. You need to do 2 more. Double wrap, insert hook in the same place, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, do that again. Double wrap, put the hook in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on the hook, and give it a chain 1. And do that one more time. Yarn, double yarn overs, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, double wrap, insert hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 3, and give it a chain. Okay, now we're going to skip 1, 2 stitches. Don't forget that hidden stitch does count as a stitch, and that's 2. And then we're going to begin our double crocheting 3 together. Yarn over, pull through all 4 loops on the hook, and go ahead, chain 2, and then work that across the side. And that's what we're going to be doing across all the sides. We're going to be double crocheting 3 together and chain 2 worked across the sides, and then we're going to be working the 5 sets of treble crocheting 2 together in the corners, and then a chain 1 in between those. So go ahead and work that all the way around. After we've come all the way across, this is the last side, I've gone ahead and made a set 9 sets of the double crochet 3 together, and then here is the 10th. That was the first of the round. I'm only going to chain 1 at the end of this cluster, or double crochet 3 together, and join with a slip stitch, And then we're going to fasten off, give it a chain and a pull, and let's go ahead and cut that strand. And we're going to go ahead and hide those loose ends. I'm going to go ahead and show you what I have at the end of round number 17. Now we're ready to begin round 18. I'm using color number 2, which is my dark blue, or I guess this is really like a royal blue color. I'm going to make my slip knot to join the yarn in this standing half double crochet. I'm going to do a chain, which again is optional. You can do it without that, but I just feel a little more secure doing it this way. So this standing half double crochet takes the place of the half double crochet in the first repeat. Okay, we're going to do this 3 times. We're going to do a half double crochet and then a front post double crochet over the 2 trebles together stitch. Half double crochet and then a front post double crochet. Hope that's not confusing. We're alternating between half doubles and front post double crochet. Half double crochet in the chain 1 space and then front post double crochet. Once we've alternated that 3 times, we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and now we're going to front post double crochet around the same stitch that we've already done. Okay, this is helping to form our corner. And we're going to do that 3 times again. The front post double crochet, and then actually we're going to do a half double crochet in the next chain. This half double crochet was by itself, or rather it stands alone as a stitch in the repeat. This is not actually a part of the repeat. So the repeat begins with the half double crochet, front post double crochet over that cluster, half double crochet, front post double crochet, and then we're going to do it one more time. Half double crochet and a front post double crochet. Let's take a look at that. So we have half double crochet as we started here, front post double, and we do that 2, 3 times, and then we do a front post double crochet in that same stitch again for the corner after we do that chain 2, and then do that front post double, and then we repeat again, half double, front post double, half double, front post double, half double, front post double. I just wanted to be real clear about that. It took me a little while to figure this out, but again, the pattern is written very clearly. It's just you know, it's not for beginners, but hopefully with the videos here, it can be. All right, so now for the chain 2 part, we're going to do 2 half double crochets in that, and then we're going to do a front post double over that 3 double crocheted together stitch, 2 half double, and then a front post double crochet over the next. So we're going to do that all the way across, 2 half double crochets and then a front post double, and I'm going to see how that's kind of gathering those stitches together and giving a lot more definition to this pattern. Okay, so go ahead and finish this to the corner. After 9 repeats of the 2 half double crochet and front post double crochet, we come to the next corner, and we're going to just work 1 half post double crochet, and then we come to the corner, we do the front post double, half double crochet, front post double, half double crochet, and on the third 2 trebles together, we're going to do a front post double, chain 2, and then another front post double on that same stitch. Okay, and then we're going to do a half post double crochet, a front post double crochet, half post double crochet, front post double crochet, and then another half double crochet in that chain 1 spot. Okay, and now this is where we just continue on what we worked on the first side, and this is what you're going to continue to work all the way around the square. Okay, I'm going to do a front post, double crochet, and then 2 half doubles where that chain 2 space is, and do that 9 times all the way across. And then again, when you get to that corner, you're going to do a 1 half double in that chain 1 space, and then alternate just like we did in this corner here. So go ahead and finish that all the way around. This round ends by joining with a slip stitch to the top of that first half double crochet. I'm going to go ahead and fasten off because the color that I'm using for my additional rounds are a different color. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we have so far. I'm really enjoying this one. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the 3 additional rounds. Okay, for the last 3 rounds, I'm going back to my dark chocolate yarn, because that's the yarn that I'm actually going to be putting my Afghan throw together with. Now we're going to start in any corner. I'm going to go ahead and join. I'm going to go ahead and get my slip knot ready. Okay, I'm going to join with the chain 1, and we're going to work a single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet in any corner. Okay, now we're going to single crochet in the next 40 stitches. So just work single crochet. We're working just normally through both loops all the way across to the next corner. The stitch count was 40 per side plus the chain 2 corners at the end of our last round, so that should just work out to 1 stitch, 1 single crochet per stitch all the way across. Once you get to that chain 2 corner, we're going to work a single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet in that same corner spot, and then we're just going to work single crochets in the next 40 stitches until we get to the next corner. So do that all the way around the square. At the end of round 1, we can just join with a slip stitch. Now the directions are to fasten off. If you're like me and you really don't want to fasten off, I'm just going to actually slip stitch to that next chain 2 space. But don't forget that when you come back around here that you're going to have to work in these 2 spaces. Let's see if you can see those. There we go. So now we're going to do round 2. I'm going to chain 1, and we're going to single crochet, chain 2, single crochet in that chain 2 space. Now, if just another thought I had on this, if you are actually using multiple colors in these finishing rounds, then you would need to fasten off, and then you would just join with a slip stitch or a standing single crochet in any chain 2 corner. Just wanted to be clear about that. Okay, now for the rest of round 2, we're going to single crochet in the next 42 stitches. Because of the chain 2, we've added 2 stitches per side. So go ahead and single crochet in each of those 42 stitches all the way across. After single crocheting in each stitch across, we come to the corner where we work a single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet. So go ahead and work that all the way around. Round 2 of the finishing rounds ends with a slip stitch in that first stitch of the round. And again, you can fasten off if you'd like and then join in any chain 2 corner. I'm going to do a little bit of cheating here. I'm just going to slip stitch to that next corner to avoid doing that. Chain 1. And now this is where these corners are going to be slightly different. Before I show you that, let me just state that each side, and this is including the single crochets in the corner, each side at this point should have 44 stitches in each side, plus you have those chain 2 corners in each corner. Okay, so now for this corner, the final round, we're going to do 2 single crochets, chain 2, and then 2 single crochets in each corner. And make sure now when you crochet in these each stitch across that you find that very first stitch. It might be slightly hidden, by those single crochets. So in total, once we go from corner to corner, and that's including the 2 stitches that we're adding to each corner on each side, your stitch count should be bumped up now to 48 stitches per side. Okay, so go ahead and work that all the way around, making sure that you put 2 single crochets, chain 2, and 2 single crochets in each corner all the way around. At the end of the round, I go ahead and join with a slip stitch. I'm going to give it a tug and a chain, and go ahead and clip a nice long strand, and that ends Dutchy, which is square number 5 in the crochet along. Now, just as a reminder, it doesn't matter what order you crochet these in, and I am actually going to be recording the first 2 that don't have a video recording, and I'll also in the future be posting where you can find the video for number 3, which was actually recorded by another designer, and I'm going to be very happy to share that information with you in the future. So just stay tuned to the Bonnie Bay Crochet channel, and we will have that forthcoming in the weeks ahead. If you haven't already, I just want to ask if you could just please subscribe to my channel. Just hit that little subscribe button, and you won't miss any of the new material coming your way each week. All right. Well, I just want to wish you a wonderful holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, however you celebrate. And I just want to wish God's blessings on you. Bye-bye.